was not born in 1964, so when the film. Oh, huh? Tell us a little how. I mean, the women in this film, the two, Gavi and the other lady, they're very different. No, normally women in film or in the past they were not so intense, as strong and kicking ass.
Well, I think they were. It's just that sometimes that doesn't really get reflected in the films that have been done the last couple of years. So I do think that our women are homage. Actually, I've been looking at a lot of old 1950s films lately, and I've seen that there were some really strong female characters in our film. They're like really pushing the story forward, and they have their own kind of journeys, and I don't know, I think it is quite rare, yes.
The 60s were.
We had fun being badass. We took it and we ran with it, I think, so.
The 60s is a great period, especially the Cold War. I'm not saying the Cold War is great, but there's something romantic about Europe in that era. How did you enjoy getting immersed in that period?
I mean, it feels just like culture kind of exploded during the 60s, and the way they express themselves with writing, with music, fashion. You can just see how everything just looks amazing, the sets and the cars and everything. So it was a bit of a wonderful time traveling to jump back into time to the 60s. It was a time era that I had romanticized about myself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little about your character?
Yeah, I play Victoria Vinciguerra. I'm English, but I've married an Italian sort of playboy who has a fortune. And
How lucky.
I know, how lucky. And so she's a very enterprising, sort of self-made woman. But I'm the villain of the story, so I'm plotting against. I've kidnapped her father, who's a rocket scientist, to build a nuclear bomb, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to sell it to someone and make lots of money. So that is who I play in the film.
That's wonderful. And you?
And because she's taken away my dad, for him to create this atom bomb, the spies here, they need to catch him, and I, in one way, become their asset, their key to try and find him. And I have my own kind of agenda to get help over to across the border. I'm behind the wall in Berlin during the Cold War, so you never really know what side I'm on, which is.
Guy Ritchie is one of my favorite directors because he has such a sensibility to tell stories. He's very visual, and also when there is action, it's almost like a poem. It's very well choreographed. How was your experience with him, and how did you enjoy shooting all the action scenes with?
He's really spontaneous, and he's really collaborative. It's funny that you say it's choreographed, because I feel like Guy sort of creates the form that you work in and then lets you have license to do what you want, whether it's even dialogue-wise or if it's action-wise. But Guy, as a person, has such a fantastic sense of humor, and he really brings that into his films. And he lets his actors just have fun and create their own version of the characters, and yeah.
And I think in the action scenes, instead of it just only having to be full on, he has a certain sensitivity about it, that he wants it to look great. I love the fact that it's a car chase that I hadn't really seen before, that it's almost like a dance but with cars, and he really, I think he really brings things to the screen that you really haven't seen before.
Last question. I thought the wardrobe was awesome. Did you enjoy that part of it too?
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had an incredible costume designer, and she was also very collaborative. And I think when we both sort of, first started working on the film, there were storyboards and mood boards of our characters, and they were incredibly detailed. But then she really let us create our own versions of what we wanted to wear and what we thought suited the characters, and yeah.